Hey guys, Captain Mike Whiskey Whistler coming at you tonight with the whiskey. We have WhistlePig in the house. I've become a big fan of WhistlePig and I thought I'd do a rundown of the ones that I have. Tonight we're just going to talk about the 6-year WhistlePig, but I have the 10, 12, and the 15, 18, and the Boss Hog. We're going to get through those while we can. But tonight, just a 6-year PiggyBack rye. And why do I have this in the house? Well, we're in negotiations at work for a new contract. And I really wanted the Boss Hog to be my contract bottle. When we got that contract through, I could celebrate with the Boss Hog, but I couldn't find anyone anywhere, and I assumed that I missed them for the year. I ran across the WhistlePig 18. It seemed like it was a good enough for a contract bottle, a nice celebratory bottle. So I picked it up. And then a month or so later, I ran across the Boss Hog, and so I picked it up to be my contract bottle. And then one day I was realizing that I had $1,000 between these two bottles of WhistlePig whiskey in my house, and I had never had any WhistlePig in my life. So I ran out and I got the 6-year WhistlePig PiggyBack rye. So I could say I at least have had some WhistlePig in my house. This is my second bottle of the PiggyBack, and it is pretty good whiskey. Let's talk about WhistlePig. And I think when I go to work, I talk to guys about literature and whiskey. Most of them aren't interested in literature because most of them haven't read a book since high school. But most of them do drink whiskey, and so we do talk about them. And there's only a couple guys that I've worked with who even tried WhistlePig that I'm aware of anyway. So I think maybe it's because it's been Canadian sourced whiskey for most of its life. And we as Americans are supposed to kind of poo-poo all things Canadian. WhistlePig was founded in 2007, and they were sourcing and then aging and bottling in Vermont. In 2015, they started distilling their own whiskey, but that was only 8 years ago. So if you buy a WhistlePig 10, you know it's Canadian juice inside there and not American. In fact, all my bottles, including the WhistlePig 6, it says product of Canada on it. So I don't have a source for this other than the fact that the PiggyBack 6-year bourbon that I have, it's of course distilled, aged and bottled in Vermont. But all the other WhistlePigs that I have, including the 6-year, are from Canada. So maybe that's why most guys haven't drank it. Maybe it's also because it's slightly premium. I mean, it's not crazy. I paid $44.99 for this bottle. That's just slightly above perhaps what you would pay for the High West Double Rye. It's less than what I paid for the High West Rendezvous Rye. So, okay, let's talk about this whiskey here. WhistlePig PiggyBack 100% rye, 96.56 proof, pot stilled. I find the 96.56 to be a weird number. Like, why couldn't you say 96.6, 96.5? Heck, I'm even good with 97. But that's great. I didn't even know that they could tell down to that fine of a detail of 96.56 proof whiskey, but that's a pretty good proof. It's high and it's readily available. You can find it just about anywhere. I poured just a small amount, just maybe half an ounce, 3/4 of an ounce in here about half an hour ago. I tried to make this video before, but my SD card on the camera was full, so I had to restart the video. Okay, let's get at it. Cheers. Like I said, I've had a whole bottle of this before. This is my second one. I do really like this whiskey. You can smell and taste the youthfulness on it. It's a very peppy nose, very peppery, maybe a bit of zest or a little citrus there on the end. But I do like it. It's a great nose. That 96.56 proof, that's nice. It's certainly above, say, the High West Double Rye and Rendezvous Rye. I believe those are at 92 proof. It's a very nice nose. Just spice and citrus. It's good. On the palate, I get that spice again. It's just waves of spice, just all over. Maybe just a hint of citrus again, but really it's just spice, and then a little bit more spice, and then just the shortest finish. I'm not getting a lot there, but again, it's just a little bit of maybe baking spices there, right? Right there. Yeah, that's good. That's a good finish. This would not be my first choice to hit neat. If I'm gonna go neat, I think I prefer a little more mellow, say the 10 and 12 year. Those are great years for this whiskey. We have the 15, and it is a fantastic whiskey. I honestly cannot wait to get into the 18. I haven't decided when I'm gonna open it. Like, really, when do you open a $410 whiskey? I haven't decided yet. I'm super excited to get into the Boss Hog. I believe that's a 17-year whiskey, so just more mellow, and it's been finished in different casks. So the reviews have been amazing. I'm super excited for that one. But I think this 6-year PiggyBack for $44.95 is a great purchase. I think this would really, really shine in a cocktail. I really enjoy my old fashions with rye whiskey over a bourbon, just a little bit of that peppy zestiness, and I think this whiskey would shine perfectly. Now, I don't mind drinking this neat, not at all. It even smells pretty good. Like I said, just super zesty, little citrus and peppercorn on there. Just spice after spice and citrus. All right, guys, I am a fan. I know a lot of guys I talk to, they don't drink the WhistlePig. I don't know, have you had any WhistlePig? If you have, what's your favorite? I was at a store today, I saw they had a 10-year cask strength. It was a single barrel cask strength. I almost picked that one up. I didn't because Mrs. Captain, I've been buying too many whiskeys lately, so I didn't get it, and I already have the 10-year small batch, so that's good enough for now. Guys, I think you should have some WhistlePig on your shelf, and you should give it a try if you haven't. If you have, let me know. Let me know what you think about it. If you've had WhistlePig, have you bought it again? Have you tried it again? I know I will always have some WhistlePig at my house, and I hope I can get a contract sooner than later to open up that Boss Hog. But guys, I hope you are reading something good and drinking something great. Turn those pages, my friends, and stay thirsty. Cheers.